Hi everybody, welcome back to today's little bite-sized Thrive with me, Kim Forrester. I'm inviting you to join me in taking small steps every day to enhance our well-being from the inside out, regardless of what's happening in the world around us. This week, I wanted to talk to you about strength, what it means to be strong and empowered as a human being. As a recovering people pleaser, I felt that this topic was particularly important for me and for people like me because I know that there are often times that I give my power away, that I suppress my own inner strength in order to be liked, to be appreciated, right, by other people, to please other people. So I'm going to be focusing very carefully in the coming week. On the northeastern coast of New Zealand, in the Bay of Plenty, there is a town called Whakatane. And Whakatane can be translated, it's a Māori name, and it can be translated into English as something along the lines of to be as of a man, so to become a man, to play as a man. And the name came about because of a historical event where soon after the Māori had come to Aotearoa, to New Zealand, there was a canoe full of young, strong warrior men and the women of the tribe. And they had come in their canoe to this particular part of the coastline. And the men got out of the canoe to go and have a look at a cave that was just along the beach. Now, while the men were away, all of a sudden the tide turned and the canoe was drifting, being pulled out in this rip back out to sea. The chieftain's daughter stood up and said, "Me whakatane oeo," which means, I am becoming a man. I have become a man. I will be a man. And she grabbed one of the oars of the waka, of the canoe, and she compelled all the other women on the canoe to do the same. And together these women did all the hard work, and they found the physical strength to actually row against the tide and against the rip and bring the canoe safely back to the beach. Now that story is not just a beautiful example of how, women can have the strength of men, but also I think it indicates something really, really important for us to remember. And that is that there is an inextricable link between the way our mind is working and the way our body responds. Okay, it's not just that those women had the strength to row back to shore, but they did so because they had the correct mindset. I will be as strong as the men who normally row this canoe, right? I will be determined. I will make this work. And in that mental strength and determination, those women found the physical strength that they needed to save them and to be able to make it back to shore to pick up the men. There are stories, you would have all heard of these miraculous displays of physical strength that come when the mind seems to get out of its own way, right? Mothers who have lifted cars off their crushed children, or and tales of young men scaling 4 or 5-story buildings to save dangling toddlers. That kind of physical strength really only comes in those instances because the mind decides that the body is capable of doing so. What is really amazing is that mind-body interaction goes both ways. And that's what I want to talk about with you today, because so often we can give our strength away. Now, whether you're a people pleaser like me or not, the fact is that we are social creatures and we are constantly picking up on the clues and the behaviors of others, and we are acting and responding in kind. So what happens when we move into a situation where someone is confident and powerful and has taken the lead and they are showing the world that they are strong and empowered? We can tend to play the reverse role, and we can actually unconsciously and automatically start sort of making ourselves smaller and quieter and less inclined to speak up. So we could all do with understanding that dynamic and reclaiming our strength, reclaiming our power, regardless of the situation that we're in. Okay. And we can use that beautiful mind-body interaction to do so. Online, there is a TED Talk by Amy Cuddy. Incredible TED Talk. I really encourage you to search for it and have a look. She's talking about power poses and the way that our posture actually affects our mind. So just like those women, their mind affected their physical strength on the canoe. The way that we sit and stand, the way that we hold our body actually has an impact on the way we are feeling about ourselves and our environment and the way that we fit into the world. So one incredible way for us to reclaim our strength every day, regardless of who we're with or what situation we're going into, is to change our posture. When we are feeling submissive, when we're feeling powerless, we tend to make ourselves smaller. Now, how are you sitting right now? You obviously got a phone in your hand, but if you're hunched over, if you've got your arms across, if you're, making yourself smaller, then that is a sign that you're feeling a little bit powerless. Okay, you have given your strength away to someone. The best way for us to claim that back is to change the way we sit and stand. Okay, so what Amy Cuddy recommends is these power poses. 2 minutes, she says, 2 minutes of making yourself bigger. Shoulders back, chin up, hands on hips. The Wonder Woman pose, apparently. Stand like that for just 2 minutes. And what it actually does, your body signals to your brain, I'm confident, I'm strong, I have control and power in this situation. And it literally boosts your testosterone level and reduces cortisol. It makes you feel and come across as more confident and dominant and assertive, and reduces your sensitivity to stress. It increases your ability to cope with stress. You become mentally and emotionally strong. Another amazing pose is the winner's pose, right? Hands in the air in a V shape, chin in the air like this. Apparently this pose, this victory pose, is so embedded in us that blind people do it whenever they win, whenever they are celebrating a victory. It's not that we see other people do it. This, arms in the air, chin up, eyes raised to the sky, that is literally our body responding to our own sense of strength and empowerment. So in the coming days, I want to encourage you to increase that sense of strength, to lock back into the personal power that you have regardless of how often you let other people know about it. 2 minutes a day, somewhere private, every morning, hands on hips, chin in the air, 2 minutes. Boost that testosterone, increase that sense of confidence and assertiveness and capability. And then if you want to top that up throughout the day, I truly encourage you to do so. Well, that's it for today. Bite Size Thrive. This week we're talking about strength, re-empowering ourselves and claiming our right as human beings to be physically, mentally, and emotionally strong and empowered. I'll see you next time. Until then, be well, be wonderful.